Welcome back to Dev Errors Fixed. Today, key error, one of the most common Python errors there is. It happens the moment you ask a dictionary for a key that isn't in it, using square brackets. It's usually a missing config value, a typo in a key name, or data that just didn't have the field you expected. We'll reproduce it live, understand exactly why Python raises it, and fix it cleanly. Let's go. First, for the idea, a dictionary is a lookup table. It maps keys to values like a word to its definition. When you write D square bracket key, you're demanding the value for that exact key and you're promising Python the key is there. If it isn't, Python has nothing to hand back, and rather than guess, it stops and raises key error telling you the exact key it couldn't find. The bracket form is strict on purpose. It's all or nothing. Most of the time this bites you on a config value that wasn't set, a small typo in the key name, or a field that's simply optional and wasn't present this time. Let's watch it happen. Here's exactly what goes wrong. We have a config dictionary with two keys, host and port. Then the code asks for config, square bracket timeout. Python walks into the dictionary looking for a key called timeout, checks host, checks port, and there's no timeout anywhere. Because square brackets demand the key exists, Python can't return anything and can't invent a value, so it raises key error quote timeout. Notice the fixed side, the same missing key, but .get with the default quietly hands back 30 instead of raising. Same lookup, two behaviors, one crashes, one has a safety net. The difference is the whole episode. Let's build the broken version so you can see it. This is app.py. We load a small config dictionary, host and port, and notice there is no timeout key in it. Then a little function is supposed to read the timeout out of the config. Right now it just returns 0, a placeholder. Let's fill in the real lookup and run it. Here is the lookup filled in, return config, square bracket, timeout. This is the natural way to read a value, and it works perfectly when the key is there, but our config only has host and port, no timeout, and the square bracket form insists the key exists. So this one line is the whole problem. Let's run it and watch Python raise the key error. We run it and there it is. Key error, quote, timeout. Read the trace back from the bottom up. The last line names the error key error and the key it couldn't find, timeout. Just above, Python points at the exact line, return config bracket timeout inside get timeout. That's Python telling you precisely which key was missing and exactly where you asked for it. The config simply never had a timeout. Now the fix. The fix is to stop demanding the key and instead look it up with a fallback. The cleanest way is .get, config.get, timeout, 30. If the key exists, you get its value. If it doesn't, you get 30 instead of an error. If you'd rather be explicit, check first with if timeout in config. For dictionaries where lots of keys might be missing, collections.default dict hands back a default automatically. And if a missing key is truly exceptional, you can wrap the bracket lookup in try, accept key error, and handle it. The right choice depends on whether a missing key is normal or a real bug, but for a config default, .get is perfect. Let's apply it. Here's the fix in code. We change one line. Return config.get timeout, 30. Now if timeout is missing, the function quietly returns 30, a sensible default, instead of crashing. That's the whole change. The dictionary still has no timeout key, we've just stopped insisting it must. Let's run it again. Same program, and now it just works. Timeout is 30, no error, no crash. Because .get has a fallback, the missing key is no longer a disaster, it simply returns the default we chose. The config never changed, we only stopped demanding a key that isn't guaranteed to be there. That's the fix. Quick recap. Square bracket lookup on a dictionary demands the key exists, so asking for a key that isn't there raises key error, and the traceback names the exact key and the line you asked on. The clean fix for a value that might be missing is .get with a default, which returns a fallback instead of crashing. You can also guard with an incheck, use a default dict when many keys may be absent, or wrap the lookup in try, accept key error when a missing key really is exceptional. Reach for brackets when the key must be there and .get when it might not. A quick note, reproducing these errors safely and explaining the fix line by line takes real work. If it helps you, the wallets are on screen and there's a Ko-fi link below. Every tip funds the next one. Thank you. That's KeyError, reproduced and fixed. Once you see that square brackets demand a key while get offers a fallback, the error makes sense and the fix is usually one method call. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Tell me in the comments which error to break down next, and I'll see you there.